What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another video. I took a little bit of a hiatus just for some rest and stuff, back to lifting. So what you're seeing is some stuff from October, going through another leg day here. And honestly, I'm going to have to remind myself what I did as we're watching it together here. But just trying to make this more interesting going forward, different angles, changing stuff up, and then really just, adding a little bit more content here and there just to kind of see how everything looks and moves. And one of the reasons that inspired me to do this was just my own archive of what I've done. I've spent so much time lifting over the last few years, and it's kind of funny. A lot of the time spent with friends and stuff is mainly just memories, so it's kind of cool to have a digital record. It's kind of like back in the day when people used to do home movies and stuff with like the home camcorder. So trying to do that here. Everyone's got phones, but a lot of times we record stuff and just never really do anything with it. So if it's out there in the ether, you never know who's going to see it. Extended family, friends, people like that. So we're just going to keep adding to the log here. I've got everything written down, but it's always better to see it in person. And as we're doing this like world's slowest cut at this point, just slowly but surely, we're entering the winter months here. So going to be wearing a little bit more clothing. I'm hoping I can just be consistent with calories. One of the hardest things while trying to maintain strength or build strength is to balance that lack of calories with recovery. So I'm prepared for, a 10 to 15% loss in strength and stuff on my lifts, and I'm going to keep reevaluating, but so far everything's been moving pretty well. I'm not too concerned, at least currently right now. With the colder months, there's always a weird little period where I dip in strength and then I usually come back up and then exceed it. I do better in the warmer months, coming into a workout warm, already ready to go, mentally, set. The sun is gone by the time I walk into the gym. Lighting is different, so it's just some adjustments that I have to deal with, but I've always trained through it. I prefer to train in a climate where it's 70, 80 year round. That would be nice, but these colder months, sometimes just going through the process of just throwing on some sweats and leggings and stuff, I don't know, it's a little bit comfort. Allows for like a changing off of the wardrobe so you can be a little bit more present, and then to look excited and look forward to the warmer months coming forward. So everything in life is a process, and you're going to be in different processes your whole life, so it depends on what you do with it, with the time that you have. It flies by. Lifting this long, sometimes I'll look back at logs and realize what I did, and I'm like, man, I've done more, I've done less, but stuff is always changing. Different like life priorities, work commitments, stuff like that. But we're still working out, we're always lifting, and we're just going to keep chipping away at the things I want to do. Squat is probably my greatest natural enemy in the lifting world. Just never been a good balanced person, literally, when it comes to squatting and anything like that. So I'm going to just take what I can and just kind of go from there. So just really looking forward to where I can be in the next year. Little steps forward. I'm happy with that. Going to keep deadlifting too as well. Just really enjoying the process. And looking back now in this video, it's nice to see the sunlight out. I think this is around 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm not sure the timestamp. But nowadays, with the time change, it's like dark by 4:30. So by the time I get to the gym, it's already dark. You're leaving when it's dark, and you got to kind of find a way to get locked in and stay focused on the workout here. So that's why I like tracking my numbers. That's why I like doing all the things that I'm doing. Keeps me focused, gives me a goal. If I hit that goal, a little bit of plus for myself for the day. If I don't, I think about ways I can mediate it. And then obviously, like the colder months, you get sick. You don't recover as quickly. So trying to figure out all that. But I do like that extra added stimulus of being able to adjust for that. It really just like, okay, here's another challenge. In the summer months and stuff like that, there's a lot going on. You want to be outdoors. You want to go to your festival. Or if you're like me, you love kayak fishing and being outdoors. So you're planning all around that. And you really just have to, prioritize different things. So definitely putting a halt on the fishing channel for a while. I've got it linked in the description if you want to take a look. really put my stuff together this year, but it was still hard fishing, so that'll come back with the warmer months. The one good thing about lifting in a gym in a enclosed environment where you can control the temp is being able to lift consistently year-round. So it's not going to feel the best. It'll be days where it'll feel better, but you can at least still come in and produce some sort of content, something like that. It just makes me a little bit more happy with doing what I'm doing. So work is just not the only thing. There's a way to decompress and to work on other things. I find that's more interesting to me, working on your side projects, whether it's art, video making, stuff like this. Just do what you enjoy, make something of it, connect with other people. So still learning, still going through the same old motions. You can see here it's definitely darker. So in that door at the front, you can see how dark it is, and that's what it looks like when I'm walking into the gym now in these colder months. So it is what it is, but keep going, keep doing the little movements that are going to add up to big progress going forward, and then to really just kind of get in the zone and set your mind right. It's kind of like a Twilight Zone, almost like Groundhog Day type of thing every day where, you're at home. I work from home, so you're at home, you see the sun come up, you see it go down, and then off to the gym, rinse and repeat until the weekend comes, or, you have a vacation or something. So really just trying to focus on that and, stay locked in, stay focused, look at the light at the end of the tunnel. Focusing more on these, lateral cable rows here, just really trying to contract the lat. I need to really slow down. When I'm doing these in the moment, I feel almost like my mind is moving faster than almost reality almost. Every time I do something, I think I'm doing it at moderate speed, but when I play it back, I'm just going way too fast, and I think that's how my mind has always worked. People have told me I talk fast. People have told me that, I process things very quickly, and I'm not cognizant of it because that's my standard. So trying to slow these down with the video. I know how people can be online, but to be honest, I'm just going to keep doing the things that I'm doing. Just looking to really connect with people here. Moving into our chest day here. So I did have some struggles with bench, so I went lighter on a lot of my stuff and changed my numbers around. I reintroduced some dumbbell flies just because I thought I was feeling a better connection, better contraction, but ultimately it led to some shoulder issues, which I think were exacerbated by squats too. I was playing around with my grip to see if I could get better lat engagement and tightness throughout the whole squat, and I ended up paying the price for it again by introducing, a range of motion, a movement that I'm not used to managing weight in. So just kind of mitigated that and just working to hit what I need to hit, keep the movements going, and then adjust accordingly. So double at 265 here. And then heavy bench has been the problem lately. It's the left shoulder. So usually it's the right one, but I guess there's a weird balance. Anytime that you overexert on one side, you just tend to feel it on the other. So just kind of working through that. So I was just doing singles here and then did some back off stuff. I mean, it is what it is. Luckily I'm able to bench. And then I actually used a different bench here, so a little bit of a different setup to see if I can get my feet underneath me. But because it's a little bit higher, it changes the unrack of the J-hooks. So I had to adjust for that, and I just couldn't find the right spot. And then this bench is kind of slippery, so I've got a band going down the middle just for friction and tension. I should have asked for unracks here, but I prefer self-unracks. It just helps me feel the weight better. And then still doing incline dumbbell press. Even with the dumbbell flies causing some issue, I can do these fine. It's that tree hugging movement, and it sounds like a crazy term, but when you're doing that contraction of a fly where you go across the body in that type of plane, that's where it causes issues. And I think because there's a lot of bicep involved in there and that range of motion around the shoulder. So I just kind of mitigate around it. Sometimes with the colder months when, I just am not as warmed up, or I'm just, the muscles just feel like they need a few more sets. And if I jump the gun, sometimes I get soreness. So I've never really been injured, knocking on wood again. But ultimately, just trying to mitigate everything and just be consistent, keep moving forward. The end goal in sight. It's a little difficult when you're doing the same thing over and over again. You mix in some deloads here, you mix in some weeks where you're not hitting the numbers you want to hit, but you'll come back. This is a marathon, not a race here. And I don't know what's been going on lately. I just cannot find my groove on these incline benches. I feel like there's a weird arc or something in my back. And when I try to put my lower body down to provide support and be able to drive through, it's just been an issue. So in the next few videos, you're going to continue to see me doing the dumbbell flies. And I've tried to slow these down, and I've tried to find a angle and range of motion where I can get a contraction without it being a pain in the butt. But honestly, it's just not working. I have really dainty wrists. The benefit is to make your arms look bigger, but I just have no support. So when I hold the dumbbell and it's too heavy, my wrists kind of roll and cock back, kind of like squats. And there's really nothing I can do. You see me do a correction there. And I think that's what's been contributing to the instability in the shoulder, which is manifesting in a soreness there. So just something I've always dealt with. I don't know what it is about my wrists. I've considered using wrist wraps, but honestly, I've gone lighter on dumbbells, and I just feel like it's not going the way it should. So a few videos down, it will be me doing my cable flies again, but laying down. So like that, I can really dial in the angle and get that contraction, just a little bit of extra stimulus. We don't have any other chest machines in here, so you have to use cable, you have to use the dumbbells to really get everything you need to do. So kind of annoying, but it is what it is, and you got to make do with what you have. So once again, 1,000,000 sets of dumbbell flies here. And I usually do 3 of every exercise for working sets, but you can kind of see where my hands are holding when I'm trying to get that contraction. My arms are weird. I've got really long forearms, but a short upper arm. So it's good for deadlifting, I'll tell you that. But honestly, anything else, it's a little bit confusing. So here's the workout, a summary. The date's always included, so you know where we're at. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching the latest video. If you want to help support the channel, I actually own my own wet shaving and grooming e-commerce website where everything's handmade by me. It's www.apexsoaps.com, and you can get a 10% off code using wet shaver. We've got some cool scents here. We've got some Coca-Cola scents, a horchata scent, traditional barbershop, just some really cool stuff. And you can purchase samples or you can buy the whole set. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Be quick to respond. Thanks for watching.